Yo, I am SHINJIITSU369, and I wanted to talk about today how Dokkan Battle can actually add in voiceover on their super attack animations for every character. I don't care if it's the first character they ever released to the very newest character. Every single character should be able to have voiced over super attacks. The reason why I think that's important, it makes Dokkan more cinematic. It enriches the experience of the game, and they can even get a lot more people coming to the game if they could pull this off. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. It's very, very simple. So this video, or it will be a video, but this live right now, this is essentially also going to work as me tooting my own horn a little bit. So you know what I'm saying? Forgive the glazing, but we got to be honest about it. Since I first started the channel, it was very important to me that the characters had voiced over super attacks. That's like the main thing that I do on my channel, right? So what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be taking a look at using, I have what now? 308 videos. Using all these videos and all these different examples, how Dokkan could implement voice acting or voice over more content in the game, not even just super attacks. I think it could enhance even much more than that, right? So, the first thing is just off rip, I think it should be just like, support memories, or not support memories, active skills, intro animations, standby skills. All those can be turned off. So I think voice acting should just be the same. It should just have volume, or maybe just a clicker, and you can cut it on and off if you want, because there's some people who won't want to have it, even though if you don't want to hear it, you could just turn the volume down. But if you didn't want it, you want to play Dokkan the old way, you do you. So that should be an option. But let's at least go through here a little bit. Oh, Phil says, I joined late, I just read the title. Most people play on 2x, so wouldn't the voices be at 2x speed? No, they would not. So I'm actually about to show you right now using my own channel, right? So this is just like my Super Saiyan God Hidden Potential Goku analysis, right? The first thing that Dokkan should do is when you click the unit, they should say something, right? Like a damn teddy bear. You squeeze the teddy bear, it says something. It should be the same thing. So, for example, see, and then I begin the video. Now, in this case, this character wouldn't have to have such a long line, but I just wanted to have that. And I also think that they should probably have like 2 or 3. Legends kind of does this, right? I don't really play Legends, but if I'm not mistaken, Legends, if you click the character, they say something or something more happens than just like what happens in Dokkan, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if we go to super attacks, right? That was something, I think that was something good to say, Phil, was wouldn't the voices have to be 2 times? Well, let's take a look at this, right? Here we have, now what I do is I voice over the characters in English and Japanese, okay? So, usually this is the 3rd turn this Goku's going to be here. Okay, so this isn't 2 times speed. That's just normal. Now, so this is a Japanese. Okay, no, I went English. I went English. It doesn't have to be 2 times speed. I actually think that when it's at 1 time speed, it's far too slow for voice acting. Now, if you played at 1 time speed, I don't know. Maybe Dokkan should just get rid of 1 time speed, Loki. Right? So I'm still doing English, but I'll generally do English and Japanese. I'll just split them up depending on the turn. Here, Goku will finish this cell off. Here we go. So I switched to Japanese. Now, I only do that since I have to go and do these manually. Sometimes it just makes it easier for myself to switch it up. so it doesn't get so monotonous. So sometimes I'll bounce back from English to JP. But I think if they actually implemented it, regardless of the version you were on, I think that you should be able to um, choose if you want to listen to it in Japanese or if you want to listen to it in English. Now, it's very simple how Dokkan can implement a system like this. Like, it's really not rocket science. Dokkan doesn't have to say, okay, we have to license the American actors to record new voice lines. License, like, no, that doesn't make sense. We have Bandai Namco. They own all the Dragon Ball stuff, basically, right? They have Dragon Ball Legends. I don't even have to go as far because Dragon Ball has hundreds of games they could pull from, but I don't even have to go that far. If I just say Dragon Ball Legends, which is Dokkan's counterpart, all that is voice acted in Japanese and English. They can easily isolate those voice files. And the easier thing about Dokkan is it's not a live game. It's like every character you play with is like stuck in one point in time in their history. And that's the attack that they stay in, just that one moment in time. That means Dokkan has the ability to go in one time, voice over a super attack, and just let it go in perpetuity, just like an active skill. When you hit your active skill, they don't say a different line of dialogue every time. I think that would actually be cool if they had like more options for dialogue, but I digress. They just say one thing. They've isolated those voice files and they've put them in the game. They can do it with everything else. Now they're behind, so they would have to retroactively go back and voice all these characters, but it's really not difficult, to be honest. Especially if you love this stuff and there's people getting paid for this. I do this for free, basically. Like, I just do it because I love it. When I first started playing Dokkan, I was like, this game needs to be voice acted. I'm like, all these pretty animations and we have no voice acting, this is crap. Once we got active skills, that really made it better, but it's still not all the way there. So it's very simple to implement. And it's even easier, right? Now let's go into a video where, there's more voice acted than just one character, right? Like if we look at something like one of these more recent videos I did, or even like the Cell Max videos, but we can just look at this, right? This is Zamasu. This is Zamasu versus Goku and Vegeta, or the Divine, or no, this is 8th anniversary battle, right? So this is Zamasu here. He has his intro animation. So now Dokkan can make a decision if they want to add in voice files for characters that are also being attacked. I do it pretty frequently. Oh Lord, yeah. The quality is going down probably because I'm streaming. It's like I'm doing two things at once. But it's pretty easy, right? And if they do want to do that, once again, they can just isolate a few voice files and just like make that easy on themselves, And then whenever they attack Zamasu, they'll have their voice files, they'll have their voice lines, and even older characters like them right here, they can still be voiced even though it's not in the new animation style. That would even make it easier. Those super attacks are generally a lot more quick. Right? I think this just makes the experience a lot better, even though this is lagging right now for whatever reason, probably just because I'm streaming. But you understand the point, though. Like the point that I'm trying to make about that. Now, this is another point that I kind of am having a problem with Dokkan as of late. Dokkan is... Oh, we went to 369 subscribers live, man. That's dope. Thank y'all for that. But Dokkan, generally with these active skills as of late, they're kind of messing them up, bro. Like, I don't really know what they're doing with the active skills. Like, I'll just quickly go through and show you various active skills I've had to fix, right? So let's go to this video. This video right here, I'm gonna show you how I had to fix this active skill here in the back. Where is it? Right around here, right? Yeah. Okay, now, I mean, I also had to fix their intro animation as well. I'm not gonna lie. Let's look at that as well. Where's the intro? It's right here. Okay. See if I can actually get this to a higher quality so y'all can see what I'm saying. That'll be good. Can you do it? All right. So I have to fix this, right? Look at a couple of the differences that I put in this compared with the actual intro animation. I put a little by Vegeta. Trunks actually says something there instead of his mouth just being wide open. And then here, normally there's nothing here. Like, what the heck? Why? You like that? That's so weird to me. When you like, if you go and watch this intro animation, or you play it on your phone, all those moments are kind of like strange. Whenever you're doing any sort of battle, and an active skill is, or an intro animation is being done, and then there's moments where the character's mouth is open, or it looks like they're supposed to be saying something. It's a cat, dude. Or it looks like they're supposed to be saying something. Like, and then there's nothing that comes out. I think that's so weird. So I always find myself fixing these active skills. If we go to this active skill right here, right? There's a couple of moments where like it looks like Vegeta should have said something, Trunks should have said something, Goku should have said something extra. What's up, AC Sama? Merry Christmas, brother. So I had to fix this active skill right here. Okay, this is in it. Oh, come on. This part is in it. This part is in it. Okay, now here, when Vegeta attacks, there's no sound, so I added it. Trunks, there's no sound, so I added it. And then right here, this is inaudible in game. Right here. When he's screaming, that's normally inaudible. But I added that, so I had to fix that. Let me just go back just a little. I also added that. Because his mouth was wide open, he was clearly saying something or continuing to scream, but it was just inaudible. Like, those type of things piss me off. Right here, this is normally inaudible. But I made it like that. See what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of frustrating when Dokkan does stuff like that. So I find myself going into these active skills and retroactively fixing them. I don't know what Dokkan's problem is. They already have isolated voice lines to add to this active skill. Why don't you just make it the right way? It is completely strange. Hey, Bloom. It is completely strange. It is completely freaking strange, dude. So they need to also, get their active skills and standby skills right when it comes to these voice lines. But it really is not a difficult thing to do. And the good thing is once they put them in game once, just like these active skills, it's in there forever. It will take them a little bit of time, right? To go in, like if they hired me, right? And I hope y'all do. So if anyone at Bandai or anyone at Akatsuki sees this, yes, this is my audition. So this is my resume right here. So if it were me and they said, all right, you have to go back and voice every super attack for every character in the game, I'd be like, bet. I would need, if I was getting paid and I could do it like all day and actually like not have to go work and that could be work, right? I could get that done, and I say probably at the fastest 6 months, but it would probably take more like 7, 8, 9 months, somewhere around there, to get every single character. Once you get them in there, they're done in perpetuity, and then the only ones you have to add are new characters. I mean, it's not that difficult. That's why to me it's still strange that it's not actually in game. I mean, if we just take a look at this right here, right? Even though it's kind of lagging there, you can kind of see what was going on. I'm sorry this is all like lagging. It's probably just because I'm streaming simultaneously that I'm talking to you guys. But it just really enhances the experience of the game, and the more like and the better the super attacks look, the better these voice attack the better it'll sound and the better it'll feel whenever you're getting the super attacks voiced. This character, which I use to defeat this run with this, with these missions, they don't get a lot of play these days. But these characters have great animations, and you know what? I bet more characters or more people would play with them if they actually had voiced super attacks. It really increases the enjoyment of the game. So, you know, that's kind of all I'm saying about that. So, there's multiple ways to do it. I also think that with like right before you have a battle, or no matter what, whenever you're clicking on the characters, I think that they should have some sort of voice line. And I think that it makes it kind of easy. That's just isolating like three voice lines and just giving them an option at random to say one of the three, right? Like, I just think that it makes a lot of sense to do it that way. And even for the characters, right? Like, I just did this right here, right? I did it in STR Super Android, an all STR team versus Super Android 13. This active skill I had to fix as well, actually. His intro animation was fine, but I had to fix his active skill, which is right here. It's towards the end here. Shit. It's towards the end. Here it is. Wait, where's the damn active skill? When did I do it? No, that's when he died. What in the heck? Okay. I also think that when you click the active skill up, they should also say something, which I generally have them do, right? Just like that. You click it. Okay. So here in the active skill, all this is inaudible. Why? It is so weird. It is so weird to watch a character's mouth flap move up and down and up and down, and no words come out. Like, that is the strangest thing. I have to fix that one too. But that's just a further example. It's very easy to just isolate these files, man. Now, whenever you're doing it one by one for like every video, that's kind of annoying. Right? Like, it's still fun, which is why I do it. But if I could somehow, using my editing process, just have like it will make a lot easier for me to record videos if they had this in the game already. And I've been at this for 3 years. Um, right? So we can go back as far as 2020 and see me doing this. And I just feel like that they really could add it. Now, the reason why I went to this video is even for characters like Hearts that don't have an English voice at all, or, you know, it's going to be more difficult to isolate those voice files because those voice files are legitimately only in, it's like Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Well, there's still other ways to do it. Like in this case, this is Dio's voice from JoJo that I use for this. I'm sorry about the lagging. But that's just an example. right? Like, this is Dio's voice right here. But Hearts and Dio have like a super like he's not really voice acting much differently. Now that's Android's 13's voice that he also has with his own super attack. They could add some Hiya noises that Goku does. I mean, they can add much more than that. But I feel what you're saying. I mean, even if they just isolate some of the files from Dragon Ball's universe of the create your own characters and use them in places, because like right here, I didn't have any voice lines for Sealess whatsoever. I tried to get some, you know, it was very difficult. Or they could at least keep the Japanese dub. I mean, there's just much more that they could be doing, you know. So, you know, I'm just saying it's not like the most difficult thing, and it obviously adds a lot to the game. Even if I look at something like this right here, right? This is like a very popular video that I made. Well, not super popular, but I would say like for my channel, right? So in this video, one thing I did here is when I would actually click the unit to show them off, I would actually have them say something. I'm trying to see. Right, so just like that. And I think that just no matter what, if you click the character, they should say something. Why not? I just think that could help a lot. And then even characters like the Gammas, who at the time didn't even have any voice lines really, I was still able to isolate some voice lines from the, like, kind of, in a way, from the film itself. And then the other ones just from Dokkan, because there really was nothing. Now, there are voice lines in Legends and in Xenoverse that you could get from Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So that could be a lot easier. But I'm just saying, this is a way to do it, man. So it's kind of simple. This was just kind of like a little simple stream I wanted to do. But I just wanted to show how they could isolate voice files and actually put them in here and make it make sense, right? And it could be a lot easier than what I do, because every single video I have to go and do new voice lines inside the video, and I have to edit all that together. They can put it in the code. If I had access to the code and I could just put them in there myself, I would just do it. But they have access to the code. They can just go in, embed the files during each of these attacks, and just let it rock. And every time the character does the attack, the code will make them do it. So then at that point, like, your game becomes so robust. Now this is one thing about that, right? This is one thing. That would make Dokkan such a big, big game in terms of space. Like, this can make Dokkan a huge game. You have to think of all the gigabytes that would add. Like, if I make a video and I don't add the voice lines the way that I do, it renders like in half the time, because it's a much bigger, file of memory. So that would make the game a lot bigger, and it would take up a lot more space on your phone, and it would probably make it susceptible to crashes sometimes and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, you could have an option to play it once a day, just like Bloom is saying, like. But there's really no reason. They have access to everything. They have access to Cell. They have access to, Gohan and Videl doing great Saiyaman stuff. I mean, they have access to Dragon Ball Fighters, which has tons and tons. There are thousands of voice lines they have access to. They don't have to. They don't have to pay anyone to do it. Like, it's their own stuff. They already do that. They just don't do it for like every character's. Please keep adding voice lines to your videos. That's what makes them entertaining. Right. Yeah. And that's why I even started the channel. That's precisely why I did it. Was one to show people, to do a little bit of team building and FAQ stuff to show people how to beat stuff, right? Like, for example, this STR team you have to take to get this mission completed is actually quite difficult. But I had a chance where I could beat it with a team that you wouldn't expect. So I figured, okay, that's like a good video to show. And then you get into the video, you get to learn, you get to get like a new idea of how you might take it out, but then at the same time, you also get a cinematic Dokkan experience. Really enhances it. Yeah, most Dokkan tubers just use uncut footage, which, you know, that's cool as well. For me, if I'm gonna do something uncut, like I'm gonna stream it. That's the purpose of the streams, like this exact one we're on. I was actually gonna make this a video first, but I was like, you know what? Let me just stream it so I can just like get my raw thoughts out there and just like Global can add the English dub and the Japanese version can add their lines. They have no reason not to be able to add them both, and you can choose which one you want to listen to. I think, doesn't Legends do that? I'm pretty sure in Dragon Ball Legends, it doesn't matter. Well, I guess there's only one version, huh? And you can choose if you want it in Japanese or English. You can do that in Xenoverse. You can do that in basically every other game. Hell, you can do that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, I think, has more voice acting and voice lines than Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's quite simple to isolate these lines. And especially for the really hype characters like Vegito Blue and Gogeta, right? Like I love doing that. I would love if I could click on Vegito and then he goes. I would love that. I want to hear the Yosha from Vegito when I click him. And then when I'm playing with this bad boy, I want to see the power. I want to hear it. Right? This is just one of my potential videos showing how to build the character out and then testing it in battle. Right? Like, why can't this just be normal? Do you know how much hype, do you know how much more money they would make if they released a trailer with a hype new Vegito, hype new Gogeta, and it was all voice acted? All of it. People would be losing their shit. They would just continue to play with the character over and over and over and over and over again. Like, and there are older transformations, and all the transformations. Do you guys notice even like that new Goku Black we got, the full power Super Saiyan 3 Goku Black? He doesn't have any voice lines during transformation. And you know what? There should also be voice lines during during the story. It's easy. Just add it. Now here, all this is inaudible, but I added this. I know it's being slow, and you couldn't really like see. So if I can do that, right? The hype characters like the fusion, some forms of Goku and Vegeta, the Dragon Ball villains, absolutely, definitely for the villains because there's not enough. But for these more hype characters, talk about printing money. You know, I have so much fun when a new Vegito drops, right? Like this one right here. I just made this video. I love when Vegetos drop. I love when hype characters like this drop. Like, it was really fun to voice over this video, especially since it was only 3 turns and I didn't have to, like, in a one like this was more turns. There was a lot more to voice over, but also I didn't have Sealess. Um, but I'm just saying, it's fun to do it myself. But I just think, it would be a lot easier for me to record videos if they just did it, you know? But at the same time, them not doing it gives me something to do. So, Kotsky, call me, hit me up on YouTube or something, hit me up on Twitter and say, hey, voice, we can do it. I can do it from America. It doesn't matter. Let me do it for y'all. I will do it for you. You can pay me less than minimum wage. You can just like buy me lunch every day and I'll do it or something. Just let me rock it. Let me rock it, bro. Because it will help y'all game. And you already don't have playable Beast Gohan. And now there's like all the other games are killing you with with voice acting. Right? And just like I said, um, I've been doing this for a while, and I honestly thought by this, we're going into 2024. I thought that by this time, we would have had, um, we would have had this already done, especially for the more hype stuff. I got a question. Where do you think Dokkan is running out of new characters to add since DB Diamond is going to take a while? Oh, not at all. Not at all, bro. There's not a Beast Gohan in the game that's playable. Um, there's plenty. There's no Super Perfect Cell standalone. There's still not a really good standalone Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I've actually been making videos recently on called Dragon Ball Saga. It's a series I've started where I talk about why and how they really need to increase the playability and characters in the sagas. So like Planet Namek Saga for me was definitely hurting the most. Like they need a lot of characters from Planet Namek Saga. Do you realize there's not a Dokkan Fest exclusive Final Form Frieza in the game? It doesn't exist. There's Final Form Angel Frieza. There's not a Dokkan Fest exclusive Namek Saga Frieza in the game. There's not even an LR. There's LR Full Power Frieza. There's multiple Full Power Friezas. No Final Form Frieza. You know? But I digress. Um, that's kind of what was on my mind today about this and how Dokkan can do this in perpetuity forever. Once again, it's like really easy. They just need to take about a year, go in and voice over every single character from old to new. Once that is ready and you can release that code into the game, it obviously would be a really big file, a really big data download. You'd probably be the biggest one they ever had. And then from there, you can turn it off or on. But now, when you're done with that, it's a one-time thing because not only do you have the code that if anything happens, you can always adjust it and put it back in there. Once it's done, yeah, there's not an LR Go Tanks. Once you're done with that, and there's not an LR Fat Boo, there's not an LR Kid Boo. There's so much. But I digress. Once you put them in there, all you have to do is update it once a month when you release new characters. Once a month you update it. And if you're releasing, and if that's all I have to do, that would only take me 1 hour in a month. You know, it would be very simple. So, Dokkan, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and start this. Start this process. The truth was talking about that maybe by the ninth anniversary they'll have like a voice super attack, and that could be maybe if they only that would be awesome. But I'm also nervous they're gonna kind of screw it up. I know it's their game, dude, but like just today I've shown you how they've messed up their own stuff. We can even look at one of the first active skills or the first active skill. I'm not sure the Super Saiyan 4 anniversary characters. Like even those, I think could be better. I think even those could be better executed active skills. So they need to take their time, go in and cross every T and dot every I, and don't let any scenes with somebody opening their mouth result in an inaudible weird moment. You know, that's all that I'm saying. So I hope y'all enjoyed this stream. I'm gonna get out of here now. It was quick. I just wanted to come in here and basically say my piece about getting voiced over super attacks, how that could work. Like I said, I've clearly been doing it on my channel since I began it. Since my very, it'll be to go to oldest, like my very first video, this one right here. Wow, look at my old thumbnails, Jesus. Yeah, even here, I think I was putting voice lines when yeah, and there should be more voice lines when you summon. That's something else I could talk about, right? Whenever you summon on a character, I think that when you get the Dokkan Fest character, they should say something, right? Um, okay, let me just go back to newest or maybe popular. Are any summoning videos popular? Just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, yes. So whenever summoning, right? They're halfway there because they do say something when you pull down and when you release, right? So there are things there. I'm seeing this is gonna be a Dokkan Fest, so you guys see what I'm talking about real quick. Is there a Dokkan Fest here? No? No. Okay, so those characters I don't generally voice over. Oh, did you see that Xeno? Look at that. Hey, that was raw. So we got the Xeno, which means I'm getting the character. So whenever I do you mean AGLS? Yes, I do, bro. You're gonna be the OG if they add this to the game. I know that's wild, isn't it? They really should add it to the game though. So whenever I see a Dokkan Fest exclusive, I normally put. Come on, where is it? Jeez, jeez. There it is. Easy. And all I did right there is what Gamma 2 says on in his intro animation. They can just take one line from the intro animation and do that. How cool would it be if you weren't paying attention to your summon, you think it was a bad summon, and then you hear, oh, I just heard the unit speak. I got the unit. That should be done too. That enhances the summoning experience. I'm trying to help them enhance the experience, man. It'll be better. Yeah, I mean they already have voice lines to the summon. One thing they could do is like add voice lines like when you get a Xeno, when you get a Whis. They already do it with the fusion, but if you get those, wait, do they not, or is that me adding those voice lines? He says something Vegeta. Does he not say ha? Does he not say anything? If they don't, then that should be there. I actually am forgetting now if I've done that or if Dokkan does that because I think it might be inaudible. But mm. Anyway, yeah. So that's something that should be done as well. Is adding voice lines to summoning. Let me go back to get some more ideas based on kind of what I do here. Of course, had voice lines for all these characters right here. But yep, should be added to the summoning. And I think that's like the main things, you know. Now, for the characters that didn't have, because some of these characters, like the Gods of Destruction, are actually not in game. Or not in, I don't know a game where you could actually get them. So that would be a little bit more difficult to figure out. But, they're connected to Dragon Ball. They can get me a couple lines, and I'll add them right in. They just need to work on it. But either way, all right. I'm going to get out of here now. I want to thank y'all for coming to check this out. And, if you like the voice, if you're new here and you're watching this and you enjoy or you think you would enjoy super attacks in Dokkan being voiced, then check out the videos, man. Y'all will enjoy them. and you might get a perspective that you didn't have before on the characters. But either way, I digress. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Bloom, for coming to the stream, and Phil and AC. I'm gonna get out of here now. But thank y'all and Merry Christmas.